Welcome back to this week's Ohio Tech Report. It's another really big week for tech in our state. Actually, $100 million story we're going to lead with for story one. But we have to welcome our guest co-host, who is returning, I believe, for the second time, Dr. Tonjia Coverdale from Nationwide. Tonjia, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And I'm sure folks know you, but why don't you introduce yourself again and tell them what you're doing at Nationwide?
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure. I serve as the AVP for Finance Technology at Nationwide, where I am responsible for the system modernization for the Office of the Chief Financial Officer.
Awesome. I love it. And so we're going to dive in now. Before we do, we have to thank our sponsor, which is Zendesk. They make this conversation, make this platform possible. And Zendesk was built upon a simple idea: make customer service software that's easy to use and accessible to everyone. Their customer service and engagement products are powerful and flexible and scale to meet the needs of any business. Zendesk serves businesses across hundreds of industries with more than 145,000 paid customer accounts, offering service and support in more than 30 languages. Zendesk is headquartered in San Francisco. They operate worldwide. And if you want to learn more, go to zendesk.com. And as they say, the best customer experiences are built with Zendesk. So Tonjia, we're going to dive in. The first story, and this just came out, but this is Intel, which I don't know if people have heard about what Intel's up to in the Silicon Heartland, but Intel is going to invest a combined $100 million in Ohio and the US for a semiconductor education program. And I'll read off a couple stats. This investment is threefold, and this is from the Columbus Dispatch's report, which we'll put in the comments. Intel is investing $50 million in grants directly to Ohio higher education institutions. Another $50 million will be distributed to educators and science programs nationwide to create STEM curriculum. And another $50 million will be matched by the National Science Foundation to support new research initiatives across the country. And Tonjia is a former CIO in higher education and a Ph.D. This has to be music to your ears.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, Chris, this is tailor-made for me being here today. So what I really am so thrilled to hear this, why I am, is because a lot of times there's a disconnect between industry and academia. And so we have these industry initiatives where we're going to bring all these jobs, but academia is left out of the conversation. How do we prepare this burgeoning workforce to be able to meet the needs? I like how they're coming in on the ground floor together in lockstep and understanding the criticality of having higher education right there. The second reason why I really love this is because when you have these large initiatives, generally the people who get invited or even know and have access to these roles are people who are already in the industry. This gives opportunity for people, new entrants, to retool, reskill, or even, again, be new to the technology field and have an opportunity to participate in all of this wonderful wealth of knowledge and wealth of career opportunities that Intel is bringing. The research aspect is huge, too. Let's not leave out the inclusion of the NSF. That shows that the NSF believes that this region is a beacon for bringing forth new innovation. NSF usually funds projects that are going to be revolutionary and things that are really going to further the field. This is a win-win-win, Chris.
That's awesome. I couldn't have said it better. And this just worked out perfectly where you're the guest for this one today. But I'll kind of point out one other thing, which was neat, is that this announcement was at Columbus State, which is going to be one of kind of the leading institutions that's going to help with the talent side and pumping the workforce in for this. Ohio State certainly, involved very much as well. But this is truly statewide, where it's the entire community college system. It's all the four-year universities, because it's got to take everyone. And that's where, as we talk about the Silicon Heartland, it really is all of Ohio and not just Central Ohio.
Absolutely. And just one more thing to point, what your point is, having community colleges as an entry point as well is so important, because traditionally the field has had entry points at a 4-year degree. Well, we're seeing that there's so many things and opportunities that you can do with a 2-year degree, with a certificate. So the more on-ramps that we provide, I think the tentacles could be wider to spread even deeper into the Silicon Heartland to make sure that we're all included. Beautiful
Absolutely.
news.
Yeah, big time news. And so we'll go to story number 2, and we'll do 2 and 3 kind of quick because intentionally we wanted to spend a lot on this first one because that's, such huge news. But we do have a fundraising round for another health tech, which I feel like we've been getting a lot of these lately, which is great because that's kind of what Ohio does, a ton of great healthcare, from universities to research systems. But MediView, they have this transformational augmented reality. They're a MedTech company. They raised $9.9 million. And so we'll link that there. But I'll kind of just dive into the third one, Tonjia, real quick as well. And we can kind of combine them to just keep this moving. But there's a new online resources for broadband services. And so this is coming from the state of Ohio, Lieutenant Governor Jon Husted and the BroadbandOhio folks. We'll link that new online resource. But you kind of talk about, that entry point of going from 4 year to 2 years. But it all starts with, just making sure that all Ohioans have access to internet so you can go to school, you can work, you can do all of this. And if you don't have access to internet, you're already behind.
Absolutely. And again, really enjoying seeing the evolution of the field to be more all inclusive in terms of how we consider a full ecosystem. So, again, not just focusing on the job opportunities, but knowing that everyday people, the workers, the workforce that we're trying to cultivate, need to have this technology infrastructural access to even be able to participate. And so, addressing all this, these are all the pieces of the puzzle that we need to continue to grow Ohio as a Silicon Heartland. So music, this is great, Chris. I love having a front seat to all of this.
It's cool, isn't it? And
Yeah.
we really are, I think, at that perfect time where there's a ton of excitement. There's companies like Nationwide, which, not to plug it too soon, but we'll talk about some opportunities there. But you have big corporates and institutions that have been around for a long time. You have growing, scaling startups, and then you have some of these Silicon Valley giants that are, literally pumping in hundreds and billions of dollars to our economy. But that's kind of a good segue. As we have about a minute or so left, there's a lot going on at Nationwide. So, Tonjia, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. So we are still looking for all of you who are interested in joining us at Nationwide Technology. So careers.nationwide.com. As you know, we have a few hundred jobs that we are trying to fill this year, and we're making some headway, but there's still some more opportunities. A lot of the go forward technologies that we are focusing on are data related, artificial intelligence, lots of APIs. And so we're on the cutting edge of technology at Nationwide. So definitely looking forward to meeting some of you. And if you have any questions, maybe send me a chat in LinkedIn, and I will be more than happy to help you get to the right person. But I would say really enjoying being at Nationwide, and hope that you will come have a conversation with us too.
That's awesome. Yeah, hiring a ton of great tech roles. We have a bunch on our jobs board at jobs.ohiox.org. But of course, we'll link both Nationwide and tag Nationwide. Tonjia, and that's incredibly kind, Tonjia, to be able to let people reach out to you. And then we'll also direct link to the jobs board and might highlight a few of the top ones that are most recently posted. But hiring, as we've talked about talent today, an opportunity to get more people into this tech workforce. You can go to work at a place like Nationwide.
Yes, absolutely. Hashtag we are hiring.
All right. Well, that's a great place to end it at. Tonjia, thank you so much for joining us again. This has been fun. I know we'll be having you on again sometime soon. But another great Ohio Tech Report, because there's just so much to talk about. And again, check out all the stories and the links in the comments. There's a lot going on, but that's what makes it all exciting. So have a great weekend, everyone, and we will all talk to you next week. Bye.